Call the meeting of the Bennington School District to order for November 4th. First item on the agenda, citizens' comments. Any citizens have anything they'd like to bring up? Seeing none. Presentations, none. Task lists from previous meeting.
Okay.
The first thing was the pending background checks
Yep.
that you requested.
We do not have those back yet. We were told at that time it was at least going to be 30 days, and it's proving to be that, so we just don't have it. Second on the task list, data on sped and tardiness referrals requested by Jackie. The special ed numbers is on, the percentage of special ed per school is on the attendance sheets. Tardiness referrals, we spent some time trying to extract this from our student information system. It's proving harder than we initially thought to separate out just that information from it without identifying students and violating their right to privacy. So we'll still pursue that, but right now we don't have an easy way to add a tardiness to that student enrollment sheet. And we went back and read the minutes from this, and Jackie's not here tonight, so we'll have to ask her about specifically what is she requesting when she's asking for referrals. We assume special ed referrals. We have the percentage on the student enrollment sheet. If she's asking how many students are making referrals, again, it might be a privacy issue that could identify who students are, particularly in a smaller school like Monument. So we're shying away from that right now. Follow up on after-school reports. They're going to be addressed tonight in the principal's report.
No, we were not going to address
Do
that
that,
tonight. I think you were referring to the special ed piece of that.
Right. And then it was requested by this board last month that we go back to rotating meetings at the different elementary schools. So what it said to do was to go to Molly Stark if it could go live. We found out from CAT TV that they cannot go live from Molly Stark. They can go live from here. They can go live from Monument. So the board will have to make a decision that if you want to rotate again through all schools, it will have to be taped and broadcast if you do Molly Stark. So I don't know what the wish of the board would be on that.
Again, the reason that we've been spending time here is because individuals, handicap, said that this is the best school for access, because the other two have access, but they got to go through the back, I guess, at Monument, and they got to go all the way around at Molly. So this makes it very convenient for someone who's, who has difficulty walking. So that's why we've been meeting here.
Ken, Jim, what does it take to get Molly Stark wired?
I know that CAT TV sent a technician out to look at it, and I don't have that. I imagine there's a cost involved. I really don't know what needs to be done and what that costs. And I did misspeak on, thank you, Donna, for pointing, she's going to address that in her report. The tardiness report is on the sheet that you have. It's special ed referrals that we're concerned about violating privacy by giving that. So,
Okay.
so you do have that in the principal's report, how many tardies by school.
Okay.
Okay, did you
Oh,
want the
could you,
blank one?
yeah, thank you.
That's the task list. Okay, next item will be the finance treasurer's report. Our treasurer, Renee, handed out one, and she also sent one electronically 2 days ago. So if you've had a chance, if you have any questions while she's here. Now, when do we pay off this loan we've took out back in,
We actually won't pay it off until June. What will happen is taxes are due next week. The tax collection turnover will come to us on November 30th. So I'm going to take the money that we've had to access thus far and sock it back into that investment account at that higher rate to offset our borrowing expense. So we'll come out with a net positive at the end of the year.
It's extras.
So it makes more sense to just to keep that the whole time to offset the expense. So, that being said, we definitely are operating in the red right now, as we typically are this time of the year. But that will change at the end of this month.
The 10th.
Well, no, the 30th, so the
Well, that's right.
taxes are
Due on the 10th.
Right, and then they come over to the school districts on the 30th. So then we'll get those funds cleared, get it reinvested. Our state aid will come back in, but as soon as the state aid comes in, it goes right back out in the SVSU assessment. But we'll be back in the black next month.
Thanks for saying that. I thought it was the 12th.
No, Tuesday you need to pay your taxes.
I'll make a motion, we accept the report.
Second.
Questions? All set? All in favor? Unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ken, just one FYI under the finance. Tuesday, the 17th, we're trying to call a facility committee meeting to review the energy audit that was completed. Obviously, everyone's welcome. I think the committee is Genevieve, Jean, and Jackie Prue. I know you can only do it in the morning, unfortunately. The earliest we could do it is 3 o'clock, so. I guess it's up to you and Jackie to decide what time.
It's set for 3 o'clock
And
on
since
the
you-
17th.
No, I said that's the earliest I could do it. You could do it at 7 at night if you want.
Oh, I was sent an email that it's set for 3 o'clock.
Oh, I could do it after 5.
You want to do it at 5? You want to do it at 5?
Yeah.
Okay, I got an email that was set for 3.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you got that.
Okay.
'Cause I didn't know it was set.
It hasn't been posted yet, though.
Yeah, I didn't know it was set. So, is that what you want to do, 5 o'clock then? The two of you go okay at
I
5?
could come, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
You
because,
you
yeah, I
okay at
got
5?
3 o'clock. Let me, I'll have to check my
5 o'clock on
schedule.
the 17th.
Yeah, and again, anybody can, and you may want to come and provide feedback, because then he'll take the feedback from the committee, or whoever else is there, put the final report, so it's ready for your December 2nd meeting, 3rd meeting, whatever your December meeting is.
Yeah, that's fine.
You'll notify Jackie too. Let her know about the meeting.
So we'll make it at 5?
Yes,
Thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
Okay. Next item, sick consent agenda. You all received the consent agenda, warrants, nominations, and not too much on it. Motion to accept the consent.
So moved.
Second.
Second. Any discussion on items? Seeing none? All in favor of the consent agenda? Unanimous? Okay, educational matters, regular, SPED, and New England Children's Center.
I do have a report that I'm going to hand out in just a few minutes that is from all the Bennington principals. But first, I would like us to begin with a presentation by two of my fourth grade teachers, Susan Page and Sherry Sargent. They have worked very hard on a project that we're hoping is going to move forward at Molly Stark. And rather than me tell you about it, I thought that it would be wonderful if they came and shared their information with you. And we also have two other teachers that are working on this, Mike Mazzola, fifth grade teacher, and Natalia Klein, a kindergarten teacher.
Donna, why don't you have them come to those two empty
Sure.
seats so the microphone can pick up their...
Beautiful, thank
Yep.
you. And I thank them both so very much for coming tonight.
Welcome.
Thanks. My name is Susan Page. At the beginning of the school year, we came up with an idea, and the idea was to transform a wooded lot that's part of the Molly Stark campus into open classrooms and trails to help educate the children. Currently, we had Project Adventure equipment out there, and it was kind of dangerous. People weren't trained anymore to use it. So we wanted to come up with something that would be exciting for the kids to use. The trails, so we talked with Jerry Prue. We had a meeting with Jerry and Rick. They gave us some different ideas. We met with Dave Dents, and Dave and the boys from the CDC Center have been out there. They're taking down a lot of the trees that are dangerous to make it so that the trails will be able to be usable. They're also thinking about taking the logs that they take down, using a planer, and using that wood in the construction of some different things we plan on having outside. The trails in the woods will lead to 7 themed outdoor classrooms. We plan on having signposts along the walkways identifying various plants and the mature trees. We're also going to pull in additional literacy by having poems and quotes from children's books that are related to nature and part of the public domain, because we don't want to get in trouble with the copyright laws. The first classroom we plan on having is the maple tree. In the past, there's a couple of maple trees out there that have been used for sugaring, so we plan on putting out information about sugaring in Vermont and also information about it being our state tree. So we'll put benches in the area, and then we'll have signs with the information. Another classroom is the butterfly garden. We plan on growing plants that attract butterflies. We're going to put information on boards about the life cycle of the butterflies, the plants, and we're going to identify the various plants that are in that area. The third area will be centered around birch trees. We're going to have information on how colonial and Native Americans used the birch trees in the past and how birch trees are currently being used today. The fourth area, we have part of the woods that has fallen trees that are on the ground, and we plan on having the kids use the trunks of the trees to identify different plants and animals that live in or are on top of the trees, and they can put that information into their science notebooks. The fifth area is by the stream, and it's a beautiful space in the woods, and we plan on putting outdoor easels there so the children can paint, they can write stories, they can draw pictures. We're also going to have wooden chimes. And the wooden chimes are going to be made out of the shapes of leaves, so they'll be making nice peaceful sounds in the breeze. We're going to have a geology area where we'll have rocks that are identified from the stream so the kids can see them. We're also going to have an animal track plot with sand, so the kids will be able to identify various organisms that are moving in that area. We're going to have benches around the area along with informational boards. The sixth classroom is the nature sculpture area. And in this area, we plan on having information on cairns, which are stone sculptures. And the children will be able to use the rocks to create their own cairns. We're going to have places for children to create fairy houses and information about the history of fairy houses and such. And around the perimeter, it's going to be really cool because we're going to take the sections of the trees and we're going to put them around the perimeter, and then we're going to put nature sculptures on top of them. An example could be the root system of a tree. So we'll clean it all up, preserve it, and put it on top of one of the stumps so the kids can see. Other examples might be nests from birds and such. We're going to actually have, we're going to plant a table, not a table, we're going to plant a tree, and then around the perimeter of the tree, we're going to have benches so the kids can sit and look at everything that's around them in that space. The last classroom is the open area classroom, and we plan on having 2 hexagon tables built, but we're going to take the centers of the tables out, and we're going to plant a tree in the center of each one of the tables. So we'll have the table, and then the tree will be coming out of the center, and we were thinking about maybe birch trees for that. We're also going to have a rectangular handicapped accessible table so that a wheelchair can go out into the area and be part of the group. We're going to have a trail camera, so the trail camera will take pictures of all the organisms that are in that surrounding area. We're going to have bird houses on the perimeter to attract the birds, and informational boards on seeds, leaves, trees as well. We're hoping to use that area in the winter time in the future, so the kids can snowshoe on the trails and maybe even cross-country ski. Last year, we had a great program for the 4th graders where we were able to go outside and learn about cross-country skiing and we thought maybe we could bring them along the trails as well. So these are some of the ideas we've come up with. We're currently working on trying to gather funding to help.
We've applied for several grants. We haven't heard anything, and hopefully we can also solicit some donations from area businesses who would want to have a hand in something for the kids.
But this is something I'm really excited about because I've been to a lot of the different trails in the area, and there's nothing like this plan. This could be something really exciting and magical for the kids at our school, and getting them out into the fresh air and just being there is going to be so important for them.
How many bird feeders do you need?
As many as we can have.
See what I can come up with.
Thank you.
Have you thought of teaming up with One World down south of town?
I went there to look at what they had outside. I hadn't thought of teaming up with them yet. That's definitely a good idea for the future.
Well, I mean, they could maybe share grants with you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is this area you're gonna use right by where the early ed is at that end of the building?
It's right by the upper grade playground. It's like kind of connected. There's like a little brook or stream, and then there's a path where you can walk over into this wooded area. It's behind the tennis dome.
I think it's a good idea because everywhere I read, no matter if it's Bennington or Burlington or Essex, the children have difficulty with their science testing. And
Right.
probably hands-on and learning and
Right.
getting excited would help with the scores as well. So I
Yeah.
think that's a good idea.
Well, one of the things we also want to do with the trail camera is to provide for our whole school, when we have our whole school assembly once a month, is by trimester, have a PowerPoint presentation that shows the kids who lives in our woods at various times of the year.
And did you also think of getting a camera, especially a nighttime camera for vandals?
Well, this would take nighttime pictures as well.
Good.
Based on movement, right? So that would be a
With a-
vandal too.
But we hope we don't see many of them.
No, I hope not either.
Everything's gotta
Does
be
anybody have
extra.
any other questions or comments? I think it's a good idea. Thank you for all the work you
Yeah,
put
very
into it,
nice.
too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate all that
so
work.
much. Really want to thank
If anyone
Susan.
is willing to donate, like if soliciting, well, someone who wants to donate to this, how should they do that?
They could contact Molly Stark.
Contact Molly Stock
Yep.
directly.
Yep,
All right,
that would be
thank you.
wonderful. And I just again want to thank Susan and Sherry and Mike and Natalia, and we really wanted to present to the board something really exciting that was happening at Molly, and this was completely teacher-led, completely teacher-directed, and they were so enthusiastic when they came to talk about it, so I thought it was important to share, so thank you so very, very much. I'm just going to pass around a report from all of the principals. And what we thought we would report on tonight is just the fact that we are in great appreciation of the board supporting the 7.5-hour school day so that we can have additional collaboration time for our teachers, special educators, interventionists. And this is just sort of an overview of some of the ways that we are using this collaboration time. Although each building is a little bit different, the focuses for all three buildings are on developing the multi-tiered system of supports, which you heard quite a bit about, I believe, at the last board meeting. We're learning and following protocols for analyzing student data. Our focus on all of our collaboration meetings is really improving instruction according to the student needs. We are also planning for school improvement and meeting our school goals. And we have also been given the opportunity with this additional time to provide some professional learning opportunities for everyone in our building. And as it states at that last paragraph there, one of the things that we've had difficulty with over the years is getting our special educators and our interventionists into these collaboration meetings. Usually planning time and collaboration time would happen at a time when those people were with children. So this has been a huge benefit for each building. And as you had requested, the data below is just showing you September and October. our excused tardies and also our unexcused tardies by school.
Does that simply mean a kid comes in with no excuse? Is that
Yes,
no note from the parent or something?
right, or it may not be, it may not be a reason. So if a child came in late due to a doctor's appointment that they had, that's an excused tardy.
Yeah.
But if I'm running late today, it doesn't necessarily mean that we don't hear from the parent, but it may mean I'm running late, my car wouldn't start. But the excused ones are when we know that kids are going to be out for a specific and acceptable reason, that they're going to be in late.
If a parent gives a youngster a note, that would be an excuse, wouldn't it, or no?
It would
Depend what the note says?
Depends on what the note says, yes. Yeah. And I know that all 3 schools are working really hard to get our absentee rate, up, not down, up. We want our kids in school, we're trying to raise that. And along with that, our homeschool liaisons are also working with parents on getting them to school on time. And because, at least at Molly Stark, at 8:25, when that bell rings, that front door is locked. And you could have a child, so although some of these unexcused tardies may seem high, doesn't necessarily mean it's not good. We want kids in school, in class at 8:25, ready to learn. It could be that they're 1 or 2 minutes late. We do count that as tardy, even if it's that short amount of time. So, I don't know if anybody has any questions?
No, just, the one thing that would bother me, I read that sometimes a problem, if it's the same person over and over again. In other words, of those, say, let's see, your school, Molly, like the 228.
Yep.
If that was made up of 10 kids with several absentee, that's what would be worrisome, but if it was-
Absolutely, and that's where the homeschool liaison really comes in. And she's making those phone calls, she's connecting with
Oh, good.
parents on a daily basis, trying to work with them. Some of our children have individual incentives. If you are on time every day this week, maybe you'll have lunch with the homeschool liaison or the guidance counselor.
Whatever
So there are
works.
built-in incentives for them to get there on time. Yeah.
At what time does a tardy become an absence? Or do you lose credit for the day?
1 minute. So when attendance is done at 8:25, if a child is not in the classroom, they're marked absent.
If they show up.
And if
they're
they
marked
show
No,
up.
if they
Then
show
then if
up,
they show up, they're marked
what
tardy.
They're
time is?
marked tardy.
8:26.
They're marked, whatever time they show up, that's the time that's recorded on their attendance. And it's broken down into minutes per day. So those minutes per day are taken off.
No, what I'm saying is if a kid, if a student shows up at
10 o'clock.
12:15 in the afternoon, it's not considered tardy.
It is considered tardy.
Really?
real
Because,
It's tardy, after 8:30.
8:26.
8:26.
So it's not absent and we turn them away and say, no, you can't stay the rest of the day. It is on, but that's where the homeschool liaison would come in, because clearly that is a student that there are other issues. Especially if it's unexcused and it's that late in the day. And I don't know what the frequency is of that there would be somebody that late that
No, we
wasn't
don't.
excused.
no.
Usually
They really
very
don't
unlikely.
have that, very unlikely. But it's calculated by minutes per day in our computer system. So there's 400 minutes in a day, and the child has missed 60 of them, then they're only getting credit for being there for those 340.
But we want the child in school, no matter what time they arrive, their education begins.
Right.
And then there's other mechanisms in place to deal with the homeschool issue on why that has happened if it's unexcused.
Correct.
Any questions? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you.
Okay, any on sped? George, you have a comment?
Donna, are you, do we have any kind of, are you going to give any report at all on that, follow up on that after-school program? Do we have any
Numbers?
kind of information on that yet, or is it too early?
It is not too early. I don't have any information from the other schools.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize that
Do
we.
you have anything on yours?
Yeah, we're running a fabulous program. How's
Are
that?
the
Sorry, Monument and Van Al, you weren't here.
Do you suppose,
No.
Are the
I
numbers?
thought what we had, I know you had requested, but I thought we said we're going to do it at the end of this semester work.
wait
and
until that time and get a
Right,
report?
and get it for what a snapshot of what it was for the whole
All right,
time.
fine.
Certainly do that report in December.
That's
if you
fine.
would like. Yeah, but our after-school program is going really, really well. It's really good.
And participation?
It's great. It's excellent. Yep.
What time does it start?
It starts, kids leave at 3 o'clock from their classrooms to go down and start a snack. And then anywhere between 3:15 to 3:30, they're starting their activities.
But they, sometimes, on Holton Lane there, when I'm leaving sometimes, like 4:45. The
Yeah,
bus is
and
wrong.
some parents, run a little bit late, so, we have coverage for that. But we were able to have a bus, a 4:30 bus come and bring kids home. So that's been huge for parents.
Convenient, okay. So we're getting our money's worth, okay. Okay, do we have anything on special ed?
Not this evening,
Or
no.
how about NEC?
No.
The numbers for our program under C there, are they 18, are we at max?
I believe so.
I think it is 18,
Okay,
yes.
thank you.
No, that's not,
No,
that's
no, we've
not
got-
all BSD.
Oh, I know, we take some from Pownell and Shaftesbury, whoever in our district
Well,
needs them. Would they take someone if there was a need from North Bennington? If they had a request and we had an opening?
no, no.
All right.
Oh, they-
Don't believe we
okay.
would, not that great.
All right.
And, there is a capacity of 18.
Yeah, I know,
so-
that, and they're strict at NECC,
Yep.
they're the ones who set the rules.
Right, so I just want to hesitate your statement of any, because if someone showed up today, we'd have a problem.
Yeah, because I know the lady who came and said how important it is that we have the numbers and
Yep.
they can work. Okay, thank you.
And Wendy has reminded us that when she's looking at what's coming up, that
The
a
fourth,
fourth classroom is a potential reality in the near future. Yeah.
oh, okay. Okay, this evening we have two policies to warn. Now, just a quick, in case someone doesn't understand, when we say warn, what that means is we're just going to say we looked at it, send it back to the policy committee with Leon, and they will take any input that anybody that's watching this evening or so forth. I think it's the first Monday of the month they meet at central office.
They just
If you
met this
wanna-
Monday. Yeah.
If you want to comment on this prevention of harassment, hazing, or student nutrition, you're always welcome to come to those meetings. They're open to the public and have your input. And you can adjust, because the policies will come back to the board for a final vote. But this is only sending it back so that we've seen it. Okay, number 5004, prevention of harassment, hazing, and bullying. Okay, a motion to warn this.
I'll make a motion that we. warn
Second.
it.
Motion second. Any comments now? Okay, no, seeing none, all in favor of warning this? Okay. Second one, 5156, student nutrition and wellness warning. Can we have a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Now, would you have any comments on this at all? Gene, you're on this one?
No, we've,
Did they run it through the nutrition committee though, right?
oh,
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
yeah, we've,
Sort of generated.
You had your input?
yeah, we generated it, so
Okay.
it's gone through the policy committee and then back to us, and
Okay. Okay, then, all in favor of warning this policy? Okay, unanimous, thank you. Superintendent's report.
A lot of that I gave you on the task list. So at the SU meeting, I presented the SU board with my goals for the year, and the board asked that I share that with all boards. There's 4 of them. First is to review, modify, and update the job descriptions of all SVSU central office employees. Key action of this is I'm working with the assistant superintendent and the director of human resources to standardize all job descriptions, which I've found to be a problem. So we're working through that. It's as simple as what it states, to standardize them, because they are not. And we're fine-tuning the job descriptions to reflect the current practices of each job, surveying other supervisory unions and school districts for job-alike classifications. The benchmark or the measurement for this would be There will be standardized classifications and groupings of employees. New job descriptions will periodically release to the Personnel Subcommittee for review. And at the end of the year, a new organizational chart to be presented to the Personnel Subcommittee and to the SVSU Board based on these job descriptions. Ultimate goal, job descriptions, and organizational chart should all be posted on the SVSU website, which you can't find all the job descriptions there now. You've heard me speak to it, and some of you are on it. You know that we have an Act 46 study committee. The goal for this year, one of the other goals for me this year is to facilitate the review and understanding of Act 46 by school committee members in the community. We've created the committee. We're currently reviewing all the options available to the SVSU. I've been attending meetings and forums on Act 46. The benchmark, the measurement for this is by June of 2016, the Act 46 Study Committee will be prepared to make a recommendation to their respective boards. If earlier, so be it. And that's a recommendation to the board. I'm not predicting what that recommendation will be. Goal, fair, effective classroom teacher evaluation. This is already undergoing, and I'm not talking about evaluating teachers as much as training for central office and administrative staff in the evaluation process. By June, principals and district administrators' ratings of classroom instruction will reflect a shared understanding of what classroom instruction entails when it is being done at the proficient level. Principals and district administrators will be specific, timely, and targeted. Key actions to this: I want to monitor the frequency of principal visits to classrooms and review the quality of their feedback to teachers, which is critical for improving instruction. Teachers need to have that feedback in a timely manner. And we want to standardize what's happening at Molly Stark as far as classroom observation and what's happening at Monument or BSD is similar, so that, and Donna has been part of this already, and it's going to be ongoing throughout the year. We're going to do group observations and feedback to the principal. Do a group observation of a teacher. Maybe Donna would volunteer to let's do that. And it's critical to bring all the principals back together. And then we do that critique together. What did she observe? What did I observe? And teaching and training our principals and central office administrators on really what we think of educational rounds, very similar to what you would see in a medical school. So the group goes in, observes, they come out, they quickly debrief on what they might have saw and observed in there, and by that end of the day, they're doing a write-up that goes back to the principal, goes back to the teacher of here's what we observed, with constructive feedback about positives and maybe some adjustments needed. But it's critical that we're all doing that together. So what my goal is to make sure that that instruction is provided to the principals so that we can do that and move forward with improving instruction. What's the benchmark? The measurement for that is at the end of the year, administrative ratings of classroom observations are comparable. The outcome is comparable. And the last goal that I have given myself is, I call it maintaining the momentum. It's to keep the district moving forward by working with principals and other district leaders to ensure that meaningful progress is made on critical district and school goals. Complete with all and the key action on this, complete with all principals and district administrators, the SVSU administrators evaluation. By the end of February, and this is new, complete mid-year evaluation conferences with each principal and district administrator that I supervise. Currently going, Donna, you happen to be here, so we're going meeting with each individual principal, setting their goals, getting their feedback on what their accomplishment, and we're using the same grid for each principal. Again, something that's been instrumented this year as new. Part of it was last year, so that's why it's maintaining. By late spring, conduct at least 3 school and classroom visits to each school. And you might say, Jim, you're only going to go to 3 schools, 3 visits to each school per year. I'm not talking about just visits that I'm coming around and walking around and seeing the atmosphere of the school. I want to observe Donna, observe a teacher at least 3 times, so that then she and I can have that feedback and discussion of what I see and what I observe and what support and help I can give her. I think it's critical that, and that's the whole thing about the instructional rounds that were in the other goal that I mentioned, that the more I can help get the principal out into the classroom, the more direct feedback teachers can receive about how their instruction is going. And it's not just principals, it's central office administrators. I want them all moving forward, more visibility into our schools, out of your office. And by mid-July, a complete end-of-the-year evaluation for all supervisees and analyze goal attainment. The benchmark, how you're going to know whether to do this, I will keep a log demonstrating that I have at least had 3 visits per school. That will show the process, and completed education evaluating plans and an analysis of the end-of-the-year evaluation reports demonstrating growth. So it's really a focus on instruction is where all those goals are heading, and drive improvement in that direction. Act 46, we have our next meeting is this Monday at central office, and after that meeting, the intent of that committee is to take their show on the road, if you will, and start hosting meetings in individual school districts, and begin each meeting by inviting the public to come and give their comments about how they feel about and what they're understanding, what suggestions they might offer, because we don't have all the answers. There is a meeting tomorrow with Shaftesbury and Arlington as they explore other partnerships, which every school district has the right to do, and see where their best fit is. And that's it.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is the board committee also going to meet with the selectmen?
I know the select board suggestion is that we do a joint meeting with them on that. And we do meet with them once a month with the board, and there are members who are on both committees. That this is Act 46 has certainly been a discussion with the Bennington Select Board. We have not met with any other select board at this time. So that needs to happen. But what the Act 46 committee, their meetings so far have really been more about structure and setting what they want to do. That's the other thing. You'll be getting a form from central office, every board member, for what your expectations are from Act 46 and what outcome you would like to see, and what is, dear to you that you also maybe don't want to change. So every board member, regardless of whether they're on the study committee, is going to get that questionnaire from us, and you should have that soon.
Well, also, when the board meets with the selectmen, everybody's welcome to come to that. It's not a closed, it's open to the public. And I think the next one's either going to be Wednesday, the 18th, or Thursday, the 19th. They were, at our last meeting, they were talking about, they meet at 8 in the morning at the central office.
Yeah, they formally invite the board chairs of all the boards to come, but it is an open meeting.
Can you put out a schedule?
So you can-
On the SVSU website, can you put out a schedule?
We don't call the meeting, it's the select board that calls it, but
It's from the select board?
Yeah,
we meet with the Bennington Select Board. Yeah.
On the 18th or the 19th?
yes.
Which is-
You were supposed
It's-
to poll her. I
yeah.
saw Dan Monks yesterday, and he said that he was checking with you about what days.
What day works? Yeah. We don't have the results back
Okay.
yet. Yeah.
So could you let us know?
Well, I think maybe we should send Mary Lee, have it sent out to everybody if they're interested in
Yeah.
coming.
Okay.
All right, we'll just remember that we gotta get that done. Okay, food service meeting on October 15th, any report on that?
Yeah, we're pretty busy. We've presented the nutrition policy to be warned. We pretty much sent it back to the policy committee for them to take another look at it, and then they send it out to be warned.
You were really involved in the writing of that policy.
We created it. The policy the Food Service Advisory Committee is the ones that actually created it. We're still looking for members to come onto the committee. We're looking for students from the middle school and the high school that are interested in being involved. We're also looking for parents of students to come onto the committee. Then we're also very active in the bid process to pick a new food service provider. We are right now, we're given a template by the state as far as what our RFP looks like. And we're given criterias as far as what we want to send out, and then we have to weight each item as far as whether it's experience, quality, personal management, innovation, involvement, staffing, financial condition, and accounting. And we have to weight each item as far as what we're going to look at to pick a new food service provider. So we're spending a lot of time with that. So we're busy. We're a busy committee right now.
No, you haven't drawn up your specs. You're working off the state's.
Yeah, we're putting together our RFP, and then it'll be sent out, and then we'll see who comes back that's interested, and then we'll start our site visits. We actually go to locations that have the different food purveyors, and they schmooze us, and they serve us food, and we have a great time, and it's a lot of fun, this whole process.
Well, it's a good reward after all that work.
Yep.
What's the timetable, Gene?
It runs, we run through what, April?
Yeah, our goal is to have it approved at the SVSU's April meeting.
Oh, good.
I've asked a couple of students from the high school to get involved with you.
Yeah, what
I want
days
their honest
does your
opinion.
committee meet usually?
We meet the third Thursday? Third Thursday. We start at 3:30, and we try to be pretty punctual, 3:30 to 4:45.
At the school.
At the middle school in the little conference room behind the office.
If we're successful and grow, we'll have to move somewhere else.
Yeah, because we were kind of crowded at the last meeting.
When?
Third Thursday.
I'll see them tomorrow. I'll make sure they come see you.
Okay, cool.
They have things they want to talk about.
All right.
High school, you said?
Yep.
Tell them to get in touch with Chris
Some
Barnes.
hamburgers and
No.
Chris Barnes is the
Vice
is the high school administrator that's on that committee.
There's quite a few girls that get a lot to say.
So,
I told them to see you.
Okay.
They said they would.
Okay, thank you. Does anybody have any questions of Gene?
I was just wondering, is there a menu printed out on the SVSU site?
A menu?
Yes, a daily menu, or weekly menu, monthly
Somewhere.
menu?
Monthly menu.
Yeah,
somewhere.
my grandkids get one for the whole month.
Really?
You get one.
I think it's on the website somewhere.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
It's for the whole month.
Yeah, they give them at the beginning for the whole month, yeah. Okay, there's nothing for technology, SVSU.
On the SVSU, tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow early evening, 6 o'clock, will be the first budget meeting for the supervisory union. All board members are welcome. We're going to meet at the central office, starting at 6 o'clock, with the deadline, for an hour and a half tomorrow, Rick?
6 to 7:30, yeah.
6 to 7:30. Everyone's welcome to come, open meeting, and we'll start the process for the new budget for the supervisory for the next school year. You want to take the busing?
Oh, yeah, the SVSU committee endorsed the recommendation of the Education Commissioner, Mrs. Holcomb, and they voted to have Powell join busing with the rest of the group in SVSU. And the year after that, I guess if they wanted to, they could bid on their own little section of busing. That means their own buses would have to sit for a year, but, it's up to them to decide. And again, if the other districts didn't vote to approve this, I guess there's a 5% tax or something on the state
The
monies.
potential of it. Yeah.
Potential that we would all have to pay, so that was a big influence, I think, but
People reported 5 cents.
5 cents.
So they agreed to,
They're gonna join starting
gonna
in,
join.
1 year, they have a 1-year
September.
waiver. This year, they're under a
1 year
waiver.
so they're still gonna do their own thing.
until
Yes.
June 30th, or whatever school ends, yeah. Oh, and also Leon gave us a demonstration of using the SVSU site. He went to a few various tabs and showed us how it works.
Where to find policies and all.
Yeah, how to find policies and stuff. Okay?
But when you talk about the budget, can a healthcare navigator from Vermont Healthcare Connect come and speak with the committees? Would you
No reason why they
make that
can't.
suggestion?
You're locked into the VHI program and through December
There's 2 more budget cycles.
2017.
I was just thinking it would be good to look at their program.
It's confusing.
It's,
I think it's good to look at it, but it might not be a task for the budget committee to do at this time.
Okay.
Yeah, because it's not going to impact
2 years.
next year's budget, and there's a lot of work to do just on that alone. But it might be something to do jointly with other boards, get them to do a night that they would come down and give do an informational night on it, and do it in conjunction with other boards, because it is important, especially with the timeline eventually impacting negotiations. But you're not, it's all gonna, and I wouldn't even just invite boards. I'd consider inviting staff and the Teachers Association as well.
Maybe in 2 years we'll have a miracle.
Well, it'd be nice to see the comparisons, and the school board already just put out one. The
Right.
School Board Association just put out.
We have a new
the
president.
comparison to the current VHI programs are obsolete, though. Those are done. Those have already been slated to come to an end. I'm pretty sure it's December 30, 2016, but the real comparison is the work that VHI needs to do now, between now and July 1, to design their new plans, and that's the key component, is what those new plans are going to be compared to Vermont Health Connect.
Okay. Okay, and I was just going to mention, as the superintendent mentioned, next Monday we meet for the Act 46 committee, and then we'll have to set up a schedule, and I'll ask if we can put it online. And those will be going to Powell, Shasberry, Woodford, and we go to North Bennington too, right?
Yes.
We're going to go to North Bennington, and we won't go to Mount Anthony, though.
No.
No, okay, those 4, we'll have to space them out and then come up. And then a lot of, I don't know if many of you read, well, I saw it on television, actually. Up north, one group, Essex Town, and one other
Essex Junction.
community voted to join up as one, and then there was another vote yesterday at another school district, and they voted no. So, that's just the way it goes. Some say they're for it, some don't.
Can I ask this question? If we decide to join with another group, does the 2% limit still apply? Or since we're with another group, that 2% limit increase?
The 2% is just for this year and next year, right?
I don't know what you mean by 2%.
Okay, so
The cap.
Oh, the cap.
the cap, does it apply if we?
The cap
reconfigure?
is only for the next 2 years, so in reality, by the time we could get a consolidation going, the cap is going to be gone. Yeah.
Yeah, it sunsets in 2
Yeah.
years. Okay, that's all I have. Others, anybody have anything they want to bring up under others? Okay, we have a budget status report online for our district, and we have the student enrollment for our district. Why don't we just quickly look at that task list, and then we'll be all set.
For here, I didn't get anything today.
Yeah, well, there was one. Are you going to send out a letter as informing us?
I have, send you out the letter for the next select board chair, the next select board chair meeting. When is it? And that Jackie had requested when that's going to be, and that she could be notified.
And schedule the meetings for Act 46, put
Yeah.
those online.
Yeah.
Okay, those two things.
The other thing too, Jim, is going back to this business on the meetings, be interesting to find out what it would cost to
Yeah.
get Molly Stark, not only for board meetings,
So where do you
but
want?
for other things.
Do you want to go to Monument for, you want to start going back to rotating schools? Do you want to go to Monument next month? You can go live there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I mean, away from just board meetings, should we not find out what we can do for Molly Stark?
Put that on the list, can we find out
So
if
that
it
they
is
can
possible?
broadcast live
Well,
shows or whatever over there.
we'll have to see what that
Well, they-
entails,
they would
what
give
that
us-
Find out
costs.
what it takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Who gives us a price on that, Jerry?
I'll talk to Frank, because they were looking into it with Kathy.
Yeah, Cat TV already went out and looked at it, so it's really going to be, they're going to have
All
to
right.
tell us what that costs.
Well, we should rotate to whatever school the principal
That's the idea. So if
is
it goes to,
here.
Yeah,
if it goes to Monument next week, the next month, it would be,
you're right, Gene.
we're all off that cycle now, though,
Right.
because we've been
And
going.
it's actually Jim next month.
Right, it's going to be Jim.
You got that down all right to get the price on that?
Yeah.
What it would cost
To
to
get the
hook up?
price?
Okay,
Oh.
yeah,
Look into it.
thank you.
Anything else?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you.
So anyway,